Welcome to This Week in Geek. It is our Patreon exclusive show, and it is the final week of April. What is it, the 28th of April?
Today's Wednesday the 28th.
Yeah.
Yes, Wednesday the 28th.
So when it,
what day of the week it is anymore. So.
when it is Patreon, it'll be the 29th. So I'm Rob Southgate. With me,
Scott Salmons.
And a little Knitza.
and the Chris Puppet is here. Let's get the bummer out first, because we want to be able to move on. Those of you that don't know, that didn't read it on our social media, damn, this is no fun to say. Chris passed away last week. We lost a brother, and we are all pretty somber about it. Hopefully that won't come out in the show, because really this whole show is about friends just hanging out, having a good time, laughing. And that's what Chris lived for with this. So hopefully we can get past that and still be mean to each other in a loving way. But
exactly, he wouldn't want us to not be mean to each other.
That's true. That's true. And really, as a tribute, like I said, the Chris Puppet is now a permanent fixture, but don't expect him to talk here. I think for now, I'm going to retire the voice. So even though I did do it at the funeral, which is a pretty baller move, wouldn't you say?
Oh my God. I wondering they didn't have somebody in the balcony ready to take you out.
All I got were really great comments about it too. A lot of people saying my Chris impression was spot on. Family members going, that was amazing. It was like he was in the room. I'm like, did you ever hear Chris?
I don't think anybody ever said that he was like he was in the room, but they enjoyed it.
They did. Well, he was in the room.
They were humoring you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm sure they were, because it really doesn't sound like Chris, but it is quite the impression. But he is now retired, so he now lives in puppet form. So, which is the way I want to go to. I'm just going to put that out there, because now I'm the oldest member of this crew. I can't make any old jokes anymore.
Nope. No, it's just going to be a bunch of ball jokes. That's where you're going to focus on.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be avoiding that a while.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? If we could get a behind the scenes cam here, you'd see that I've got quite the fleshy yarmulke going back there.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Is that what you're going to title the episode? Fleshy
yarmulke. Yeah. Imagine what that hashtag brings up.
I was going to say, I don't know if you want to Google that term.
I bet it would be quite the rabbit hole to fall down.
Just don't do it on your work computer, people. Just don't do it on your work computer.
Yep. Nope.
Fleshy.
You don't want to get red flagged.
Fleshy yarmulke. Use your phone, hashtag fleshy yarmulke. See what comes up. So yeah, that's our bummer news, and Chris will be greatly missed. He was a good friend to all of us, and he was quite an asset to the show. In fact, truthfully, this show wouldn't exist without Chris, because this happened because we needed to fill space on Live at the Blue Box. And we didn't have the name was actually given to us by Kathleen, who died, 8 weeks ago? Chris's wife died too. So I mean, really tragic. But the first night, if you hear the very first episode of Live at the Blue Box where we had this show, the very first thing we said was, we're going to introduce a new show. We don't know if we should call it This Week in Geek or The Week in Geek. And Kathleen chimed up from in the back, where she didn't usually chime in on our nonsense, and she yelled up, This Week in Geek. That was it. That was the name.
She was usually above our nonsense.
She was usually being kind to people, whereas we were not necessarily kind to people.
Yeah, a lot of times she was apologizing to people at the restaurant while we were performing.
Right.
I'm sorry that you have to hear this. Have some big cookies.
Right. Oh, is that Chris up there? No, it's not.
that is not my husband.
It's his evil twin.
Yeah, we're never. Well, he did get the Van Dyke, so he did kind of. Here, you can see it. He did kind of look like the Mirror Universe Chris.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, are we going to start a Mirror Universe puppet? My mind is reeling. So many puppets.
Man. Yeah.
Puppets
Just
are
like
awesome.
everybody's mind was reeling after watching New Mutants.
Oh, look at Chris
What a
leaves,
transition.
and Scott goes right into professional broadcaster.
What a transition.
Yeah, we watched two different things this week. We actually watched more than that, but we're going to talk about two things tonight. Is there any geek news we need to cover before we jump into that?
Marvel has announced Captain America 4. Sam Wilson.
And isn't there some Chris Evans Captain America project or something?
Well, rumored still. There's still rumor, but I don't know if I believe it yet.
Okay.
I think if Chris Evans ever comes back, this is my prediction.
He will, and I'm going to say mark my words right there. Go ahead.
It will be in a Secret Wars type movie where they can bring him out of time to fight in a one-off. It will not be something where it's a reoccurring thing.
Right. It won't be a series of that Captain
right.
America. No, I agree with you on that. Unless they do something where he comes back kind of like an old man Logan. And they do something.
Or a Hydra Cap. Where they do Cap, where they bring him out of time, but it's not the Cap that we think. It's not that Steve Rogers. It's Hydra Steve Rogers.
Right. I could see Chris Evans continuing to do this character, but not in the same way he did it.
And
I think that could be really interesting.
I think it's going to be a while. The reason why is because especially because the 1 year off Endgame is still so fresh in people's minds. I mean, it's 2 years, I mean, that was all over,
Heck, it's so fresh in Scott's mind, he hasn't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. But I think they want those, same with Tony. So they want that to kind of rest for a while. They got a lot of things that they're introducing. So there's no reason now.
Yeah, why go back to that well? Yeah, when people are saying Iron Man 4, it's like, why? Right now, why?
And if it is, it will be Riri after her series.
Right.
How's her books? I've heard of the character, but I've never read them. Is she a decent character?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's a good character.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, actually, it's funny because those rebrands of the characters where they've made them female or they've made them another ethnicity, actually Marvel's have all been really good, I feel.
Yeah, Miles Morales is awesome.
Yeah, Miles is awesome. Ironheart's awesome.
Yeah, Miles was kind of before the wave. He might have been one of the first, right?
Yeah, but he was probably the one that introduced the wave. Like they saw, hey, this worked.
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel, like the way they did that was awesome. I think that's an excellent character. I even like Cho, the Hulk. With what's his name? Cho. Oh, that was an awesome series. Although I have to say, The Immortal Hulk is a mighty good series. You guys read that one?
I haven't read it.
I mean, he can't die, right? And it's like crazy. And in one of the issues, the bad guy chops him into bits and puts him in jars, and then it shows at the end like the face like comes up to the jar, like because he's still alive.
Oh my God.
I got to it. I'm like, this is just batshit crazy. It's so good. Yeah, it's a great series. So so that's big news. That's big news. I think there's a lot to mine there, and I'm ready for it to happen.
Yeah, definitely. The only other news, big news I saw is after the success of Godzilla versus Kong, Legendary is now interested in keeping the MonsterVerse going, and the director Adam Wingard is attached. And the name and the project that keeps getting tossed around is Son of Kong.
Yeah, which is a terrible movie, even though I have it on DVD.
The movie came out 90 years ago.
Right, but
but the original was really good. Yeah, the original was good, and then they pumped out this quick sequel like in under a year, and it's like barely 65 minutes, and it's got garbage. Some okay model work, but the story is. The story starts out interesting. It's like the guy's like dealing with I let loose an ape on the town, and now I'm being sued, and I have no money, and like okay, they're dealing with consequences, but then they go back to the island, and then it's just garbage. Stupid stuff. So
yeah. But you know what? This could be fun. I mean, they've got a different thing going on. They're doing the Godzilla versus Kong universe. So Son of Kong could be really interesting.
The thing is it's not going to come out for a while because he's already attached to direct two other movies.
Right.
He's doing Thundercats and
I'm ready for that. That sounds awesome.
And Face Off, the sequel to Face Off.
Oh, he's the one doing Face Off? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's a sequel. It's not a redo.
So far, I don't know. I mean,
because the one thing I read is that he was trying to bring John Woo to the 2020s. So he's probably going to direct it, trying to capture that flavor, which I'm all right with. I thought Face Off was a lot of fun, mainly because of you've never seen it, and mainly because of Nicolas Cage. He's so friggin' nuts, and it was fun to watch him walk around as Travolta, and it was actually pretty fun to watch Travolta as him, although not quite as convincing. So yeah, it's a good time. I like Face Off. I think that's a good one. It's just crazy enough, it's just B movie enough that I'm in.
Yeah.
Other things that I saw, just real quick, like the Meg 2 is happening. And they said this time they're going to ramp it up. I'm sure it's because of Godzilla versus Kong. They're like, hey, we could put giant fish and do this. But you know what? That was the one thing. Did you guys see the Meg?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
I saw it at the drive-in. Molly and I went to see it.
My kids loved it.
There was parts of it that I loved and parts of it I didn't, but it did kind of tweak that same thing that Godzilla versus Kong did for me. He was whispering to you, Alil, get off.
Sorry, the cat's here.
What a shocker. The one complaint I had was they didn't like they had that incredible scene on the beach, right? When everybody's out on the beach and the Meg is coming, and then it just like eats everybody. That was fantastic. But they needed more of that. They needed more because it just kind of felt like Jaws without the tension until scenes like that. And that's what it sounds like they're going to try and do in the sequel is ramp that kind of stuff up, which great. I'm in.
I mean, as long as they bring Jason Statham back, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Jason Statham versus the Megalodon was awesome.
I'm definitely in for that. They've announced that they do have an outline for Last of Us 3. I don't know if you guys played Last of Us, but
I played 1. I didn't play 2.
I haven't played 2 yet, but everyone that I know that played 2 said it's astounding. I thought the first one was astounding. I loved it. So that is big news. There's a teaser coming out tomorrow. So by the time you hear this, the Tomorrow War, which that's pretty exciting. If it's as good as what I'm reading, that's going to be a really popular new IP for us. We're going to be all over that.
Starring Chris Pratt.
Pratt. Let's see what else. More Son of Kong. Don't want to talk about that yet. Don't care about Fantasy Island getting rebooted on TV. Who cares?
No. Well, that movie wasn't good either. The recent release, I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I really wanted to see it because the trailers, I thought, you've got something interesting going on here. But then I started watching it. It just kind of fell into inconsequential territory pretty quickly. Wasn't good enough to be a great bad movie. Wasn't bad enough to be just like awful. It was just kind of blah. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. What else? Is there anything else? I mean, that's kind of.
It hasn't been much.
Yeah. It seems like we're, maybe it's COVID. Maybe we're still dealing with that because it's old news. Basically, they're talking about things that were like, yeah, they talked about this a year ago, but they couldn't go into production on it.
Because studios have a backlog of stuff now.
Right.
They're still pushing movies out. I mean.
Right.
One hopes they're taking this extra time to give the scripts a little more polish.
They're not. Because we saw Godzilla versus Kong.
No.
We watched Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, these are the movies that, like, you had a year plus to work on them.
You could have gone back and fixed a few things, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it wasn't worth it financially, because if it was just going to streaming, then why?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I contend if it weren't in COVID, Godzilla versus Kong would have made a lot of money. It would have been a popular film. The movies we're going to talk about tonight, I think we may have a different approach to.
I don't know if it would have made a lot of money.
I think it would have.
I think it would have had a big opening, and I think it would have crapped out after.
But I think it would have done at least what they wanted it to do.
Yeah, no, I think the presence of Kong helps, because as popular as Godzilla is here, it's still so Japanese based, and there's not enough crossover audience. But Kong is the American guy, and even people that don't watch the Godzilla or Kong movies, they feel the cultural impact of something like Godzilla versus Kong.
Well, and keep in mind, a movie like Godzilla versus Kong is not really about the American audience. They're trying to pull in that American dollar, but when they do a movie like this, and you can see this in a lot of these blockbusters now, they know how much money India and China are going to bring in. So this movie, you'll notice key actors are not American.
Right.
You've seen this time and time again. What was that? Was it an X-Men movie where they had that what's her name? Bing Bing, I think. She's a very popular actress in China, and they had her in the American version, but she had a very minor part in it. She only had a few lines, but in the Chinese version of the film, her character had a couple of key scenes. And they cut it that way so that they could attract more Chinese viewers, and they did.
They did it for Iron Man 3 as well, because like the actor who played the Heart Doctor that removed Tony Stark's arc reactor, he had some more scenes in Iron Man 3, and he's a big name in China.
And if
they did that, but
if you watch Godzilla versus Kong, that movie was not made really with the American audience as the primary target.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't.
And as much as I enjoyed it, I know that it didn't have a great script, and Millie Bobby Brown was awful in it. She was supposed to be the American draw, and I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I don't know why. I mean, well, not to bust on her, but I don't know why they keep putting her in things.
I mean, she was enjoyable in King of the Monsters.
She was okay.
Godzilla versus Kong has made $400 million worldwide. So maybe you're right. Maybe it would have made more. I mean, because most of that's the international box office, made 320 overseas, just under 90 here. Yeah. So, I mean, it's better than I would have thought.
I think it would have done a solid 200 here.
It's made Godzilla King of the Monsters made 110 here, 275 overseas, so about 385 worldwide. So I mean, it's already.
And who's their target? That and really, honest to God, I think it would have done about 200 here. I think that would have been the payday they needed in America, and then it would have pulled in worldwide, and
it would have been four overseas probably without the pandemic. So 600.
You're talking a movie with real legs.
Again, I don't know. I mean, we don't have the budget for that, so I don't know how much it costs, because it's $600 million.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: they didn't spend it on. They didn't spend it on the marketing like they usually do.
But would they have?
Well, right, they might have. But see, that's what's crazy about this. These movies, people start talking about the numbers and all that. The amount of money they spend on marketing is insane.
Yeah, I've heard it's like almost as much as the budget.
Right.
So that's why they have to bring in so much to be considered a profit.
Right.
Well, right, because the theaters get a cut, the marketing and the make of the movie. So that's why it's a rule of three. It's got to be break even is 3 times the theatrical budget. So if Endgame and Infinity War, I think it was like $1 billion combined for both those movies.
Good God.
But they made 5 or 6 billion combined.
Yeah.
So they made their money.
They made their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think that's true with this. I think this is a property, and with a sequel to it, I think the sequel is going to have legs. I think it's going to make money, and I think that the international audience is going to continue to be their target. Which, okay, I'm okay with that. You know, we still have Marvel movies and these other things coming out. You know, so let's really shift gears.
All right.
Speaking of. Wow, I'm going to throw up some huge quotes. New Mutants, a Marvel movie. It's not. Well, it is. It is. It's considered. They were calling it the next Fox Marvel property. That this was taking over for the X-Men. First of all, I want to say up front, they didn't earn that. If you watch this movie, where they place it in the timeline, it's like, how does this fit with anything we've seen?
Yeah, where is it?
Other than in Logan, when everything's crashed and burned, and we're catching them years later, maybe this happens after the crash and burn, but did we see any of that? Did we get an explanation? This kind of just starts. And, okay, Alil, you're probably going to be able to answer this. Was that supposed to be the manor, the mansion, whatever?
No.
Okay, I thought they made a reference to it being his place, and I'm like, that doesn't look like the X-Men mansion.
Well, I don't think the kids knew. I think they thought they were being groomed to be X-Men. That's what they were saying.
Right, they did.
But that was
they made that reference. They said it actually outright a couple of times. One at the beginning and one towards the end.
Yeah, because
Reyes kept referring to her superior.
Yeah,
right.
Which was supposed to be probably Mr. Sinister. Because it's the SS Corporation.
Yeah.
And that's who that would be. But, I mean, they dropped that same corporation in Logan.
Right. Right.
I want to say Dark Phoenix, but I can't recall. Maybe not.
I'm telling you, this was supposed to be tied into that whole thing. This was going to be their younger cast, new iteration of the X-Men. Boy, if Disney hadn't bought Fox, this would have been the biggest turkey in their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I can't totally. I couldn't bring myself to totally hate it. You know, I didn't think it was an absolute waste of time, but I don't see myself rewatching it. Right. It lacks any of the charm of the character building. Of especially like the first X-Men or First Class. You're getting an origin story, but you're enjoying it. You know, you got the flashback. They're all 5 of the characters. You got their origin, of where they came from, and it definitely felt like a setup for more stuff. But the first X-Men movie had that, but you introduced a big bad that you knew was an outside threat or something. And not just, one of the own characters' personal demon, literally.
Right.
If that had been like a part of their growth, and then say suddenly, what's the giant robots, the Sentinels attack.
Right.
Then they're like, okay, we've been through this. We can be a team. Let's take down this giant robot.
Well, they did that with the bear. Spoilers. They attacked a demon bear as a team.
Right.
I have a question though. Did either of you read New Mutant books?
No.
I mean, a handful here and there. I have a bunch, but not.
Because when that series launched, I was super excited. I read all of them. I think I have the first 20 issues or so. And I thought they were fantastic. Chris Claremont.
But it wasn't his group.
But it was. It wasn't total. Well, it wasn't everybody, but Rain and Cannonball, they were definitely in that group.
Right.
It wasn't totally this group, but
because Magic was in the X-Men series,
right? And I did think it was fun, like seeing what the hell's the name of that dragon thing?
Lockheed.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I was a little annoyed by her doing the puppet because I thought, is that how they're going to do this the whole time? But then when we saw her go into the dream state and Lockheed was there, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And they didn't make a big goofy Lockheed. It was a character.
It was no Jar Jar Binks. Yeah.
No, and they very easily could have gone that route, which I kind of expected from this.
See, not knowing the character, I saw her with the puppet, and I got the feeling these kids are all mentally broken. I'm like, okay, that puppet is her anchor. It's something, she probably had that puppet with her when she was hurt as a kid or something, and it stays with her. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then when she went to that state and, Lockheed was there with her as the dragon, I'm like, okay, it's kind of a, Tyler Durden type thing here, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, I was wondering. So these 5, were these kind of cherry picked from the different series? These 5 characters,
somewhere. I mean, like Rob said, 2
it was
of them.
It was kind of the original group.
And then it was the other one was Sunspot, right?
Yeah. But the story, what they did with them didn't make sense. I almost felt like they wrote a different movie and shoved the New Mutant characters into it.
Yeah.
And then when Disney got a hold of it, the rewrites made it more New Mutants. And I don't know if you guys got this sense, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but watching it, I felt like I could almost see the seams where I'm watching it going, it seems like 2 movies are happening here. Some of them felt more Marvel-y, and some of them felt like I didn't know what they were doing. Did you guys get that?
I think initially Fox wanted to make this more in that horror realm for this movie.
See, now what I had heard was it wasn't that they wanted to make it more horror. It's that whoever cut that original trailer that was so good made it horror. People responded to that. Fox went back and tried to tweak things, and they had already screwed up their brew. And then when Disney got it, they went, okay, well, we either have to shelve this thing or we have to make it a little more Marvel to appease fans. That's the impression I got. That was what I had read, but it's the internet. It could be that, Scott wrote it and he, made it up. So I don't know if that was real. I don't know if that was real at all. What did you guys think of the cast?
Did
you like the casting of the kids?
Anna Taylor-Joy was fine. I didn't like her fake accent that went, I know she's, got 2 accents in the movie because she's,
right,
the multiple personality kind of thing that she's been playing on.
That's Ilya, the tall blonde with the I noticed her accent slip a bit here and there, and also,
but it was on purpose. It was on purpose.
That was on purpose. I actually found her to be significantly better than Millie Bobby Brown was in Kong. She really was. She's a good actress. She was just given, but she was also given crap.
Sure.
What did you think of Rain?
That was probably the best character. The most solid character. Let me rephrase it. The most solid character.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I thought Cannonball sucked.
That was too bad. I think Cannonball's a great character. And he just looked like that actor is the one from Stranger Things.
Right.
Yeah. I swear he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio after he's been hit by a box of rocks. He just looked like crap in that thing, but he looked like Leo. And he was, that accent, his Southern accent was awful. Watch. I'm saying that, but you're going to look it up and it's like the guy is from Kentucky and that's his real accent.
No, crap. He's from the UK.
Okay. Because that was terrible.
I think. Either UK or Australia. He's overseas.
Yeah, and that Kentucky accent. So, when I watch stuff with accents, like I slip into it. So, like I watch Doctor Who, I start talking like them, and it's really annoying. So, with all the accents in that was in New Mutants, the one I picked up on was Rain's Irish brogue.
Sure, and actually, she sounded legit,
and not the Kentucky accent. especially me being from Kentucky.
Which you should be picking up on. Right.
I still slip into the old Kentucky accent when I'm super tired or super drunk.
All right. So every night.
I was going to say, how many glasses that whiskey you got going? Or that's
One. Wait, where is it? Where's the camera pickup? There it is. One glass. But I had a wine spritzer earlier. But yeah, so
and after this, he's having a Zima.
But yeah, I noticed that Kentucky accent slipping a couple times. I'm like, is that the rumored reshoot scene where he couldn't get that accent back?
Could be.
Because I was reading just the other day that the reshoots didn't happen.
Really?
And I'm like, what? Surely something happened. Like maybe the first set of reshoots did.
Or maybe it's the effects. Maybe it was the big effect scenes because those were actually pretty impressive.
I know the bear looked good.
So maybe they went back because I'm telling you, there were parts I just kind of felt like I was watching two movies and I couldn't figure out. Oh my God, the doctor was terrible.
She's a character from the books too.
But her acting, I was like, oh my God, she was like, I didn't buy her for a second.
I automatically knew that she was up to no good.
Yeah, very easy. What were you going to say, Alil?
So here's the kind of thing with this movie. Like this movie, like if it was released and filmed like this year, like a COVID year, it would have made perfect sense. There's only 5 people in this cast outside of some CG work.
Right.
I mean, there was that one dream sequence that that she had that she saw all the other stuff. But I mean, like.
But even the beginning when she's running from her bear when she's a kid and you only saw her dad's body close to her. No one else was everyone was socially distanced. And this was before we were doing that.
Right.
So it would have made sense.
Filmed. Yeah. I was just like, this could have been filmed during COVID.
And frankly, reshoots shouldn't have cost that much. I mean, seriously, this movie should not have cost that much. Other than the CGI, so maybe that is what they put the money into.
But yeah, this movie. This is a sci-fi movie. This is the quality of this movie. Like, yes, they got some good actors, the young actors who have been in things. You got Rain, who was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but only 2 of them were good in it.
I'm just
Anna Taylor-Joy and I can't think of her name. Rain. They were the only 2 that were good. I didn't think any of the other ones actually were very good. I thought they were okay.
Right.
That might even be overstating it. And I thought the doctor was terrible.
Again, this is like a sci-fi movie. It had
Sci-Fi Channel movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, as I like to say.
You know, if they had done a legitimate crossover with at least 1 or 2 of the X-Men actors from any of the other movies, hell, even have Deadpool come in and say, what are you kids doing here? Let's go get a pizza. Anything to try to tie it in and give it a better grounding in that universe. Anything like that would have helped.
Or have more characters than 5 people and a doctor locked up in this giant, complex. Like
build the stakes. Make it so that they actually believe they're there training to be X-Men. And because I kept thinking,
we have no training sequences. We have nothing.
Right, no training sequences.
Nothing. And they made reference to it, like I said, I think twice in the movie, but none of that existed. That would have been really cool if they thought they were there for that, and then it turns out that the bad guy is actually tricking them, maybe to build an opposite X group, so that by the end they figure out, oh shit, we were
played for suckers.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. But instead, they fought a big bear and then went, I guess the barrier's down.
But they didn't even fight a big bear. Like, at the end of the day, she just said, goodbye, bear. I'm not scared of you anymore. And the bear disappeared.
Yeah. Although Anna Taylor-Joy had that great fight sequence with the bear. And I love how the one character even said it like, oh, man, that's awesome. It's like, yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
It was a good action set piece.
Yeah, but this movie was not worth revisiting unless it's on and there's nothing else on.
Yeah, I appreciate you forcing me to watch this. I've avoided this movie since it came out. I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to complete my X-Men Blu-ray collection with this because it's not close enough to the series. I'm not going to bother. I mean, it would take like a 3-hour director's cut.
There's multiple Blu-rays that you can just toss out of that series.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but
Dark Phoenix.
This is the worst of them.
Toss them out.
This one is the worst.
Is it the worst though?
It is.
It really
Phoenix
felt
to me was.
So, I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet.
I think Dark Phoenix or Apocalypse. Apocalypse was so bad.
Apocalypse was bad. Although that's another one. Apocalypse is like 2 movies. Part of the movie is awesome. I remember watching it thinking, why is everyone saying this is so bad? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh God, it's so bad. And then I start watching it and I'm like, wait. No, this is actually pretty good. Please don't let Apocalypse. Oh no, he's back. Oh, it's garbage. And so it was like, that was offsetting. It's kind of like the Wolverine, the first Origins movie. Not good, but then it has some sequences that are really cool.
Hugh Jackman was good in it. Everything else around it was bad.
It was bad. And they botched Deadpool bad in that movie.
Well, yeah. Deadpool fixed that in Deadpool 2 when he killed him. With his time travel, which was pretty fun.
Right. That was great. Maybe he'll do that in this. Maybe they'll do a time travel, like since they're doing the multiverse, Deadpool can go in and kill all the new mutants.
Yeah, it definitely needed a more charismatic lead. I mean, the I don't know the actors' names, but the girl with the dragon puppet with the sword arm. I mean,
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor is definitely the most charismatic.
Well, she's doing the Queen's Gambit show.
Oh, she's amazing on Queen's Gambit. Plus, she's from Peaky Blinders. She's great on that show. I mean, she's really talented.
She's up and coming, for sure.
And Maisie Williams, Game of Thrones. You know what? One of my favorite characters on Game of Thrones went from the time she was that first season. She's a little girl. She was so good. And here I was like, I thought she was trying to act through this muck of a script. You know, and that's a character that Rain is a character, Wolfsbane, that I really, really like from the X-Men. I like her in, when she becomes one of the X-Men. I liked her in the New Mutants. So I really enjoyed that they did something with her, but man, I don't know. There was a lot of garbage in there.
Yeah.
Movie's not good. Movie's
not good. It doesn't belong in the collection. So we saw it so you didn't have to. Although if it's on, you want to watch it, just know that you're going to think it sucks until you get to a couple of really cool action pieces. Yeah. And then it's going to suck again. I did like when the guy came out of the pool burning. I thought that was a great effect.
Yeah.
That was really cool, but the scene was terrible. It was terrible.
It was funny when Reyes knocked him into the pool with the skimmer.
Yes, that was good.
He's like, he's on fire. Poke.
Maybe this is one of those movies that we should rate as a watch with the sound off and skip to chapter 4 and 28. That's it.
Yeah.
Then you'll have fun with it.
There's a lot of better things to watch.
There really are. And this was not good, but we did it. What did we call this, Alil? You and I were writing this week. We called it because we on our Instagram we have TWIG required reading, required watching. We have awesome watching. So if it's so bad, Battle Beyond the Stars is a terrible movie, and I completely love it. It's awesome. That's an awful
you call this
viewing.
Like a detention.
Yeah, this would be viewing detention, right? TWIG viewing detention. As a geek, you are required to sit through things even when they're terrible, just so you can be a completist. Yeah. But it's detention. You don't have to go back to it ever again.
No.
And I won't.
This could be the TWIG Breakfast Club. So if we ever do that, Saturday morning, we just watch all the worst of the worst, and we're all trapped in that room.
Oh my God.
And then by the end of it, we're all making out and all high, jumping around a library and getting the bull by the horns. I don't know, man.
Wait,
I don't
what?
know. I don't think I'm into the Breakfast Club idea anymore. I think I'm out.
Yeah.
Although at the end, I want to be the guy that does this. Yeah. My old arm goes up.
I did think it was interesting they put two scenes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What'd you say?
They put two scenes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
In this?
Yeah,
they did. So he must be a fan. That must have been what the director was like, I'm making a Buffy kind of thing.
Yeah, I did kind of feel that because it showed Anya and Tara, who were a lesbian couple on Buffy, and we have Rain and Danny, who share a kiss in the graveyard, doing their Mary Shelley thing. And then there was a later scene where I think they're called the Gentlemen. They're surrounding Buffy, and she has to fight back. And they have a very similar feel to the smiley face people that Ilya is scared of.
Yeah.
So that's a parallel there.
I did kind of dig the smiley face guy, even though he looked super fake. Even though it was an actor.
Mm-hmm.
There was an actor playing that. Yeah. There's an
wow.
actor playing that character, but then they CGI'd him to make him Skinner. I swear to God, that's what I thought. I'm like, is Doug Jones in this? And then it was a different actor, but I thought that was a cool, weird character to have coming out of nowhere.
Was, but it's
once
like
again, it feels like that was added in because they didn't have anything else going on.
If that had been like an ongoing big bad, and that they had to like figure out, okay, what do we do this, and then Danny learns, oh, I can use my bear to fight them. That would have been more interesting,
right? But instead, she gets attacked by a bear that she tells,
"Sit down,
sit down." Okay, in the movie,
I think they should have gone more in the horror route. They should have dealt more with their dreams and their fears.
I agree. We could have had a
Dream Warriors. Thank you.
Yeah, Lil, I was all in on that. As I was watching it, I kept thinking, why can't we go Dream Warriors with this?
And the villain should have been then what the hell? I can't remember the character's name. He's the
Freddy
one
Krueger.
No, but he could be kind of that character in the X-Men universe. He's one of Storm's villains. Like if you remember the 90s X-Men cartoon, it was like the series with Storm, and he's this kind of not like a dream demon. I can't oh my God,
I don't know who you're talking about. You know who I'm thinking of is the guy. Did you ever read, and this isn't Marvel, but did you ever read the Sandman books?
I have not.
Oh my God, you guys are missing out. You know what? Even if I know you don't like to read a little, even though it's a comic, but there is an audio drama version of it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it. You got to check it out. It's I think it's on Audible. Oh my God, it is an incredible audio experience. But there's a nightmare character in Sandman who has like mouths for eyes.
Oh God.
He's terrifying. His eyes have teeth and it's terrifying. That is what I wanted to see here. Because when we saw the smiley guy, I was like, oh, this is where you could have real nightmare stuff going on. But instead the nightmare was that we had to get through a whole hour and a half of this.
Yeah, only an hour and 34, but it really seemed to drag. As
felt like the Donner cut. It kept going on and on.
I was going to make a good comparison and say the original X-Men movie, which is 99 minutes, so an hour and 39, and just snaps along.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference of a good editing, good directing.
This wasn't Josh Trank bad, but this was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although still looking it up. Who's this?
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it.
Yeah, I saw on IMDb somebody wrote this movie desperately needed whatever they edited out. But I don't think they edited a lot out. I think they edited some and then added some. And I think even I really have a feeling that if we saw what was edited out, it would make even less sense.
It might. I mean, it might be a case where adding another 15, 20 minutes makes it a little better just because you get more stuff happening.
But I have a feeling you don't. I think it's less Marvel and more nonsense. I really do. I have a feeling there was a whole thing with that doctor. I felt like they short shrifted her at the end because there was nothing to do. And I have a feeling there's probably a bunch of garbage with the doctor towards the end. I would rather see, who if they wanted to do the doctor thing, Deadpool 2, the way they did the whole thing with the doctor there, the kids and the thing, that would have been the way to go. He was torturing these mutants. Why not have that kind of storyline going here? You own the property, do the same kind of storyline, but we see they've done this with these kids and make it more sinister, make it scarier, and you have characters that have these powers that could really fight back. That might have been interesting, but instead, this was not interesting. I just wanted to see some of the powers of some of these kids, and Cannonball disappointed because I think Cannonball's an awesome character, and he was not awesome in this. He was like, he only did a couple of times anything cool, and the rest of the time he was walking around with a brace on his hand, and he made no sense.
Yeah, I got to wonder, what did like the actor break his hand before shooting, and they just wrote it in, or was it supposed to mean? Yeah,
I think it was supposed to be that he did it because he couldn't control his cannonball abilities. But I mean, come on, we saw him crash into things like crazy a couple times. If he could break his wrist from doing it, wouldn't he have broken more from what he was doing?
Yeah, I mean, unless that was the thing to indicate, he learned his lesson from that, and now he can.
He didn't.
But
we learned our lesson. We're not watching this movie again.
Yeah, no.
So, while you look that up, let's shift gears.
I can't find it.
You know what's funny? I think Chris would have said, "Oh, this movie's okay." It's all right. So one more time, Chris, you're wrong. The other movie we watched, and I'm dying to hear what you guys say about this one, was Mortal Kombat.
I know who it is now.
Okay.
The
Back
Shadow
to
King.
New Mutants.
The Shadow King.
What is
That's
it?
who they should have had in this.
Supervillain, the Shadow King.
Shadow
King. But would have been a great villain for this. There's your Freddy Krueger type character.
Okay, yeah.
And it would have made sense to have the smiling man and everything. That would have been sweet.
Yeah. Because I think they used the character in that Legion TV series as well. The Shadow King.
You know what? I only watched the first episode. I loved the first episode. And then they canceled it. And I'm like, I'll go back and watch it at some point. That was a great show, but for one episode that I saw.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything that happened.
All right.
Great first episode, though. Damn, that was a good show.
But there you go. That's what they needed. They needed the Shadow King.
You're 100% right, Alil.
Because I think if they would have gone there.
Why don't they just give us New Mutants? We'll make it work for Fox. Not for Fox, for Disney. You know, and they'll say, what do you know? We got this.
Do better than Feige. Sorry.
No, but we could take a TV show version of the New Mutants. They don't have to do
but if we filmed it on actual sets, then Kevin Feige wouldn't know what to do with it. So
busting on Feige. Wow, you cut deep on Alil. That's his second boyfriend. Number one, Tom Holland. Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Tom Holland?
No, it's Tobey Maguire is number one in your heart. Then Tom Holland, then Kevin Feige, then
I think there's somebody above it all.
Lou Ferrigno.
There's one man above it all. No, not Lou Ferrigno. It's Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
Bruce, the chin.
My love for Bruce.
So number one is Bruce. Number two is Toby. Number three is Tom Holland. Number four is Feige. All right, Alil, right now.
The most orgasmic day I've ever had in my life was at Woodfield Mall. Bruce Campbell did a book signing. I mean, I met him.
Oh my God,
a dozen times.
Wow!
And it was a book signing, and then watching Evil Dead 2.
Wow!
So we went to the book signing. I was wearing
that's incredible.
I was wearing a Spider-Man shirt on, not knowing what was going to happen. He wrote in my book, "Nice shirt, Bruce Campbell." And I got 30 seconds. And then we went to go watch Evil Dead 2. And as I'm sitting there in the theater, the first trailer for Spider-Man showed up, the one with the Twin Towers where the blood caught in.
Yes.
My jaw hit the ground because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And it was like, I get Bruce and I get Spider-Man all in the same day.
Yep.
Like, it's
like a Gallagher show. The first couple rows had to have raincoats on because Alil was back and just like
unbelievable.
Oh, God.
Yes, it was crazy.
Okay, Alil, F, Marry, Kill. Bruce Campbell, Tobey Maguire, and Kevin Feige.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. I can't kill.
Come on, F, Marry, Kill. F, Marry, Kill.
He's giving me everything.
You got to kill one.
I'm killing Tobey Maguire.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm going to text him right now. Toby, do you know what Alil just said? I'm done with him.
I mean, I'm not done.
Somewhere he's, you know what? Somewhere he's dancing and crying.
I mean,
all right. Then who do you marry? Who do you F?
I mean, I marry Feige. I mean, he's created the cinematic universe. What am I supposed to do? I mean,
Bruce would be honored.
If there's one thing that I could live without watching anything else for the rest of my life outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'd be fine.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
They brought everything I've ever wanted to life.
Yeah. All right.
So, even bringing Spider-Man into that universe. So
I hear wedding bells. Okay. You answered it.
I love you, Kevin Feige.
Oh my God.
Wow. Tobey Maguire just tweeted that he's heartbroken.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Tom Holland turned his back on you.
He'll survive. Tom,
I doubt it. Tom's in the wings.
Mortal Kombat. Let's go to Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat,
yes,
please. This entertaining yet
stupid movie,
but I had fun with it.
So did I.
Yeah.
I had enough fun with it that I'm waiting for a sequel.
Well, hopefully we get one with Johnny Cage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't care.
I just didn't care. The problem here is like the main character, Cole.
It's terrible. Why did they do that? Why did they make up a character to put in the movie to be your lead when you could have taken any character, built a story around them?
I guess they didn't want to break. I mean, you have 30 years of mythology from the games and everything.
Then okay,
instead of breaking the mythology that's already been established,
then make a solid character.
Yeah,
this guy had no personality. It was like in speaking of Godzilla, in that first reboot Godzilla, they had the kid from or the guy from Kick-Ass in it. He was awful, no personality, nothing going on. That's what this felt like. I'm like, why are we focusing on this guy? His daughter and his wife, I was much more interested in.
Well, yeah, his wife is Elizabeth Olsen, and he was Quicksilver before they were.
No. I mean, in this movie.
In Godzilla. Oh, you mean?
No, I mean in this.
Okay. I got you.
This.
Yeah, I mean, the daughter.
His wife was ridiculous. They leave after Sub-Zero almost murders them in a horror movie, which was an awesome scene with Sub-Zero like lifting up the water. Like that's the thing. Like there's these great scenes and visuals with these characters that don't say anything, and then it's like then we get stupidity where he's like, I've got to go find this person now, and it's like, really? Like you're going to abandon your family after somebody just tried to murder you?
Bad.
Based on somebody who you just met.
Right. Terrible.
And yes, they saved your life, gave you their car, but like it's ridiculous.
When I was watching, so I start watching the film, and that first 20 minutes, because when you watch movies, the first 20 minutes are vital. At the 20-minute mark, you can watch it on almost every movie. If you look at a clock at 20 minutes, it's when you're on page 20 of the script. That's where the story starts. Everything up to that point is kind of setting you up, giving you ideas, all that. And then boom, the character shows up. The thing happens. So in this one, the first 20 minutes, glorious. That whole thing of, feudal Japan or whatever. I mean, it was beautiful. It was awesome. I texted, I don't know if I wrote to everybody or if it was just Alil or if it was not even Alil. It might have been Jack. And I said, I'm watching this. They got it right. Like this is like watching the first superhero movies where you knew it may not be the best movie, but they got it right. They got the formula.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt. And then this douche rocket shows up, who's the lead character. And I'm like, oh no, they're back to Sci-Fi Channel Mortal Kombat with better effects.
Yeah. I hadn't kept up with the Mortal Kombat lore, so I didn't realize he was new to the story. But I could tell right away that it's like, okay, they've got one of the second or third tier characters that nobody mains.
Yeah,
and
at best.
they're just going to use him as the lead because he's got an easy to write for background. But
yeah, he was a meat shield, and he shouldn't have been the lead.
No.
No.
And the Sonya, we saw, the original came out, 1995. So I was 21, an impressionable age for movies. And we saw it in the theaters, and
I was 27. That sucks.
And it stuck with us for decades. Just so many of the scenes and the soundtrack. I still have the CD. It still gets played because it's so good. That's the original soundtrack.
That techno music is awesome. I didn't care it wasn't bad. I smiled when they played the original, but like the dubstep version of it in this one. But
I can't think of any of the music from the new one.
I'm happy they at least tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. The classic lines were so overcooked in this. Get over here. Flawless.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what? You could have done something fun with that where they could have had fun with it, but instead it was like they went, oh yeah, this is where they say fatality. Fatality. I'm like, oh God.
Did you watch? And remember what I said the last time we were chatting? That on HBO Max, the subtitles, when it says fatality, it's hard. It's kind of blurred a little bit when they say it. And so the subtitle says speaking foreign language. And I thought
last I heard that was English fatality.
Yeah. And they just kind of, that's one of the things that show, and then the sand pit training is like, you see that and like, okay, they're going to start to show off. They're going to spark and get their abilities. And they just ended up being not great. It wasn't until, Shang Tsung started sending, people like, Batgirl, the Bat Lady after, the Bat Lady after them.
She didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything. She just had
the death with the hat. I saw somebody point out that was a Sam Raimi death. The way that
that's in the game. That's in the newer game.
Yeah.
But it did remind me of Sam Raimi.
Right.
Yeah, actually, that kind of stuff. Okay, so the first 20 minutes, awesome. Then garbage. If it didn't have Kano, whatever his name is, right.
I sent that meme to the chat. Meme to the chat.
He carried the movie. Yep.
Yeah. So,
and he wasn't good. He was just great for a B movie.
Yeah, he was chewing up scenery, which is what you need. But nobody else really had any personality.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when the bad guys show up and they have all these fights, it was interesting because wow, these fights were pretty cool. I had a good time with them. I had a good time with all of that. But God, there was no story, and they never had the Mortal Kombat, which I think is very weird. People keep calling that out. They're like, where was the competition? It's like, well, I mean, it was weird. Yeah. It was weird. It was weird.
Well, that's part two. Part two will bring us the competition.
Sure.
Right.
But
part one, because I get it, because you look at it this way, like if you just do the competition, then where's your sequel?
Right.
You're building up to, especially if you're doing a series.
Yeah, but if you're killing off Gorgo and all the, you killed off so many characters.
There's tons of characters they could bring in. I mean,
but as somebody who's a casual player,
and they might not be dead.
Yeah, that's true. At the very end, it looked like he was resurrecting him. He's like, "You won this round."
Exactly. Yeah. So they can bring those CGI characters. I was just mad that Cole killed him, and he didn't win a fight at all. Like he was losing to the one girl who
he lost everything. He lost from the very beginning.
Yeah, right.
And then he's able to kill Gorgo. Please.
Yeah, and then his shirt, his golden shirt, was just like, what? What is that even from?
I don't know. It absorbed the blows from the other.
Well, right, but I mean that's like Black Panther's suit in the Black
Right.
Panther movie. But the thing is, it only absorbed it in that one fight. Every fight he had after that, it didn't absorb.
Right.
So I don't understand his power, like his power set. If that's his power set that he's able to take a hit and absorb it and have kinetic energy to fire back, great.
Then
that's not what was happening.
You only do it in one fight?
Right. It only happened once. Yeah. Plus, that was pretty stupid. When Kano got his power, I was like, this is really stupid. Like, you have to get angry enough or something or have emotion enough to get your power. And
well, I mean, that's an X-Men
what's her
thing.
name got her power? She got turned into one of the combatants because she won some fight. She'd won all sorts of fights. She was way more set up for fighting than Kane or whatever his name is.
Sonya Blade?
Yeah, Sonya.
Well, she killed Kane. Well, Kano had the mark because he had killed somebody with the mark. And when Sonya killed Kano, the mark transferred to her.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what gave her.
I think I was
spark.
tuning out by that point.
I mean, I was invested during it, and it was kind of fun, and it was neat seeing the fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion again, and but Cole was just floundering around.
Well,
in the
even
background.
in that final fight between them, like he's just punching ice,
right?
I'm like,
what do you like? Either punch it and like get them out of there, or make some drinks with it.
I swear to you, when that scene was happening, I was thinking, oh, he's going to break out of this pretty quickly, and we're going to get Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Captain America fight. Where the two are on one, and you've got this battle, because that was awesome. That's what I was expecting when that started up, and I thought, wow, Sub-Zero is going to be tough to beat that way. But instead, it was the Mighty Ducks in the corner with their ice.
Yeah.
But I did like that scene, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That was fun to watch. The fighting scenes were fun to watch for the most part.
And I just thought it was funny too. He yells, "Get over here" in English, but then he's speaking Japanese. The rest.
Oh, it just was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. How about if he says it in Japanese and you get the subtitle "Get over here"? It would have been a lot more fun.
Right.
Yeah. And then you can have the "Get over here" in the dubstep soundtrack. Get over here. Cool. All right, I'm in.
No, I want the techno music. I don't need the dubstep. I want the techno back.
Yeah.
Me too. And they really gotta do you think in the next one that they'll change Kane? I think they will. No, Kane, isn't that his name?
Cole.
I think they'll kill him right at the beginning of the next one.
Because Cole was going to Hollywood to find
Johnny Cage.
Right. And I have a feeling he's going to get killed.
They're going to kill him because he's the ancestor. He's the last in the bloodline of Scorpion. And they want to keep Scorpion back.
Yeah, but isn't Scorpion back now that he got out of hell?
No, he's still
he's freed. Well, he was freed from the bond or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm just looking for ways to get Cole out of there.
Maybe he goes to his home planet or something.
What if he's stuck in the ice and a Zamboni decapitates him? Mortal Kombat!
I mean, I guess so.
Zamboni fatality.
Oh my God. That's awesome. That needs to happen. That would be incredible. Now I'm in. Now I'm ordering the Blu-ray.
I mean, overall,
I think they need to go full bore. They need to go babalities, friendship. They need to do all of it.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wanted to see this.
That's not true. I liked it. We all liked it.
I liked it. It's just
again,
the second act is really bad.
It's a Mortal Kombat movie, so I guess I'm not expecting dialogue and story that would be.
Yeah, but that first 20 minutes promised us something else.
It did.
If we had seen like a Mortal Kombat in that time period, that would have been amazing.
That's how you do it without having the competition. Or you have the very end of the movie is they establish the competition is how this goes on.
Right. They've had 10 competitions where or Earthrealm has lost the last 9, so like make me 10 movies where we're just seeing all the competition.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And they can make a fight movie like that. Like use Bloodsport as your template.
Right.
Like that's what I would do. Or even Enter the Dragon. You combo Enter the Dragon and Bloodsport into there because Enter the Dragon did a good job with the fighter and kind of like the guy on the island who ruled everything, and you can use that basis, but then you have the tournament like you did in Bloodsport.
That's probably what they're going to do in the sequel. They're probably going to go that route. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I love Bloodsport. I watch it yearly.
Yeah, I'll take all of that. But
I watch it more than Scott watches the Donner Cut.
You know what? Then you got to cut Cole's part down or cut his dialogue down, make him more brooding, evolve the character so he's not, I get beat up and I suck.
Yeah. And seriously, doing fights like that for $200, come on. That's not a real thing. I mean, the injuries you're suffering are.
It happens.
But only 200?
I bet you that's
that happens.
There's lots of underground, not even underground, but like.
But that's the problem. He also didn't look like a Palooka. He didn't look like a guy that would be fighting that way. Give me more of a Palooka, somebody who's getting their ass kicked on a regular basis for $200, and give me some.
But he used to be a big time fighter until whatever happened to him. I forgot it was an injury or something happened to him.
Well, yeah, but now he's not. So who cares?
But he thinks he can still be that fighter. That's why he's still fighting. I'm just saying that's why. He auditioned to be Shang-Chi. Kevin Feige made the right choice.
Yes, he did.
Back to Kevin Feige.
Yes. Yeah, well, you're marrying him, aren't you?
I would right now.
Jenny?
If it's with a man, it's not cheating. That's the motto in my household.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think any of us are surprised. Not a look of shock on Chris's face.
No.
So the takeaway on Mortal Kombat, it was fun.
Yeah,
I'll definitely watch it again.
HBO Max, it's free. If you have HBO Max, it's free for you. If not, find other ways to watch it. There's a lot of them on the internet to watch them.
It's the kind of movie that when we watch movies on our deck, it's a great outdoor on the deck movie. It's a great see at a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
It's a great, I want some mindless fun with my buddies and we're going to yell at the screen and that. It's great for that. It doesn't even qualify as awesome because it's not awful. It's fun. It is fun. It's flat out fun. And I'll take that. I just wish it didn't have that really, really bad second act. That's what I wish.
Yeah.
I think it really kind of took the meat out of it. It's kind of like when we talked about Meg. In the Meg, I enjoyed the Meg, but it needed more. That was actually a little bit better movie, but the action it needed more of the action like Mortal Kombat had, but Mortal Kombat needed a little bit more. The Meg, even though it didn't have a lot of story, it had a little more story than this. Like you walk away from this, I'm having trouble recalling any of the story elements really. Whereas the Meg, I remember what motivated this character and did this and kind of made it to this point. And then, big Megalodon. Who cares about all that? Big Sharp,
That's all we wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shark fighting Jason Statham.
and maybe, the Meg should go the route of Fast and the Furious. So it just, the next one, it gets more batshit crazy. By like the fifth one, they're on the moon fighting a Megalodon. I mean, Machete shows up. I'd be in on all of that.
The Meg is in a go-kart. I mean,
or they cross over the series and have the Fast and Furious people fighting the Megalodon.
The Rock. It chokes on the Rock. That's how they win. It eats the Rock, and then you see the Rock like when Drax fought his way out of that giant thing, but the Rock doesn't even use blades.
No, I would say the Rock would do the people's elbow on the Megalodon and then call it a day. That's it. That's how the Meg sequel finishes after with the crossover with Fast and Furious. There you go.
I'm in. Take my money. I'm in.
Matt?
See? Once again, Disney, why don't you open up those purses and let us in, because we got the ideas. These are billion-dollar ideas we're giving away for free.
Billion cents.
Yes. And I don't even know if it's worth that. And here's the other thing. We come in, you also get a kids show version out of it because we do it all with puppets.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. The Meg with puppets also. I'm in.
I mean, it's got to do it with goats.
That, you know what? I would be in. How long till we start getting like the Goat Avengers movie? Oh, I would love it. Don't you want to see a goat Hulk out?
No.
Yeah, you do.
Those goats are strong. Like you can pet them and stuff, and they'll bump up against you. They are pure muscle.
Sure, that wasn't Teresa.
It's a good thing I have a headset that you didn't. So, but yeah, don't mess with goats, man.
Or Teresa.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or Bruce Campbell, because Alil will have something to say. All right, is that it?
Talk bad about Bruce.
Did we cover it all?
I think we did.
All right.
Yeah.
I have no idea if there's something else coming out in the next 2 weeks. Let's hope not. Because I think the New Mutants just about did us all.
Oh, man. We needed a couple of robots on either side of us to help us through that one.
Yeah, if there isn't a good one, maybe we should pick something that I mean, there's tons of this kind of stuff that I know that the three of us haven't seen, or maybe only two of us have seen, or one of us has seen. Maybe we should pick something interesting that we could talk out, because I kind of like this format. I think this is a lot better than our old format, even. Because otherwise, all we did was talk about Marvel. So,
yeah,
that's all I ever want to talk about. So,
yeah, well, we talked about it tonight. So that's it. Do you guys want to give your social media? I know I put it in the show notes for this, but you want to give it? I would say yes.
Yes. I'm on Instagram as Milo Bloom 74 and Tumblr as Scotty Smurf.
What does Milo Bloom mean?
Milo Bloom
is from Bloom County.
Yeah, the comic strip.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, my God.
Do I have to read something? It's
with Opus the penguin and Bill the cat.
No.
No?
You don't even know what that is?
No. Oh, my God.
You're the new
Was it a newspaper strip or something?
Yeah, Bloom
back
County.
in the day. But he does it online now still. He's still writing them.
I never read comics in a newspaper.
Oh, my God.
What is wrong with you? There was even a Spider-Man newspaper comic that was good.
I knew about those. I never read them.
Well, you missed out. The most important piece of the Spider-Man puzzle is there.
It's not.
It's not.
So I'm not worried about it.
No.
Yeah. You find Aunt May's recipe for apple pies.
No, she made wheat cakes.
Wheat cakes. Okay.
Wheat cakes.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, Milo Bloom is from Bloom County. And you're missing out because those were great comics.
Yes.
Sorry. All right, you guys follow.
Yeah.
I was going to move on about my non-reading because I just don't want to read. You can follow me at the LOGEEKZ on Twitter, at the League of Geeks podcast, the League of Geeks Alil on Instagram. I'm all over the place. So there you go.
All right. And you can find me at R Southgate on Twitter. You can find me as Rob Southgate on Instagram and on Facebook. But more importantly, follow all the Southgate Media Group stuff. You're on Patreon here. You know about us. You support us. You're into it. In fact, if I could do this quickly, I can, which, I won't be able to. We got a new subscriber on Patreon, and I'd like to give them a quick shout out, but nothing wants to open on my computer right now. Maybe I can do it on here.
I mean, you could say thank you to your parents. I mean, it's okay.
They're not on there. They have ignored us.
Yeah. They don't approve of your life choice of podcasting.
They're like,
clearly we know that. I mean, I've spoken with his parents many times.
Have we not done enough for this idiot?
We know your parents.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I get. So, damn, I can't get in here. I can't get in. It won't even open on my computer. So we'll give a shout out next time to our new patron, which is awesome. We also have been sending out a newsletter. So join our email list because we're sending out a newsletter with all of our new episodes on it. Every day we're sending something and trying to make it interesting. And there will be new content there that is exclusive to our email. So you're going to want to jump in on that email list. Once again, you can find that in the show notes, or you can find it at our website, southgatemediagroup.com, which has had a redesign. If you go to the podcast directory, you will find This Week in Geek there. And it's pretty cool. It's just going to get better from here. Did I cover everything? I think I covered everything for now. Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers. As we've said before, this is done just for you. We don't put this anywhere else. The one episode with Elliot, we used a 20-minute chunk of it to promote it, but that was it. This is for you. So thank you. You guys rock. And Chris, thank you. You are dearly missed. You will forever be part of this show. And yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
Now you're going to get me singing. Thank you for being a friend.
Which one are you? Maud?
Maud.
No, you're Blanche or whatever. You're the slutty one. Scott.
Me, of course.
I'm the Rose. I'm definitely the Rose.
Which one's Rose? Is that the
batshit one?
Betty White.
Batshit one.
Oh, Betty White? Okay. Does that make me Maud? Fuck.
Yeah, that makes you Maud.
Definitely. Come on.
Ugh.
The crotchety one? Look at your face right now.
What was her name?
Dorothy.
One. Her name was Dorothy on this.
Yeah, I'm Dorothy. Okay.
Dorothy.
Yeah, and Chris was the old one, so he's the little feisty one.
He was the
Sophia.
Grandma. So,
yeah. Sophia, yeah.
The one that looked like Voldemort when he becomes a crusty baby.
Oh, what?
Benjamin Button. All right.
Oh.
That's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. This was awesome. And enough said.